want to be living ethereal Altmer August? Do we want to be living Faerun Fall? Do we want Hobbiton holidays? Well, today I'm coming to you with a little bit of a Ravelry pattern roundup inspired a little bit by both Wool Needle's Hands and her Ravelry Roulette series, as well as by Breathing Yarn and Isabella's series of some there's a couple of pattern roundup series that they have both done, and I love that idea. And I had a couple of ideas for some pattern roundups that I think that they would not do and are very much more in my wheelhouse. And this first set is fantasy inspired knitting patterns. I'm also planning to make one for fantasy inspired crochet patterns, so stay tuned for that. So first off, why I'm so off center, I'm gonna be putting the picture here. This is gonna be testing my resolve to edit, because I don't like editing very much. I just like filming. I'm sorry. But first off, we have the Architecture Cowl by Jennifer Weissman. This is a really beautiful cowl that features some seed or moss stitch. It has a lot of nice thick ribbing texture. It has an interesting triangular shape in the front and has this nice faux seam down the middle front here. The reason I'm putting this here in this fantasy section is I saw somebody on Instagram. I lost the video, so I'm not able to credit them, but if you know, please put in the comments, who made this and made it to look like armor, made it to look like a piece of armor by using a gray and I think a stellina type yarn, and it looked really beautiful. And I do think that this looks very fantasy armor coated. That is the vibe I'm getting from this cowl, and that's why it is the first on the list. Next, we have the Toss a Coin Socks by Carrie Vandervoort. It is called Toss a Coin, bracket, The Witcher, end bracket. Obviously, it is The Witcher inspired. I got quite into the show the first season when it came out. I was like obsessed. I was watching it. I watched it multiple times because of the timeline stuff. Got very confusing, but I loved it. This sock is really gorgeous. The top of it's very textured. You're going to see a lot of texture today, I think. That it's kind of got this cable on the top that looks very much like coins. It has this really beautiful zigzagged thing on the side that looks like pearl stitches on a stockinette stitch panel that has this like zigzagging effect that's really gorgeous. Just these socks are stunning, textured. They look like they'd be really fun to knit, and they just give me like, I want to put them inside of some nice boots and go for a long walk. Keeping up with the sock theme, we have Elven Dreams by Paulina Kunsola. This is just beautiful. It's got these like leaf-like texture, leaf-like things on the top of the sock and on the side of the sock. It's gorgeous use of both textured, like making shaping to have like the different, like to have a, it basically looks like a knit stitch that just trails. So like a one stitch cable almost that like forms this beautiful leaf pattern with these lace stitches, a very interesting looking heel that's a little bit different. I don't know if this is a heel flap and gusset, but it looks fascinating. And the top of the socks just look so ethereal and gorgeous. Like, it's giving elven boots. Like, if you do them in green, it could look like these beautiful elven boots. If you did them in a smaller size with a thicker yarn, you could totally make like a slipper with these. I think this pattern is gorgeous. Love it. Then we have the Ravenwood Dragon Cloak by Lavish Craft. This is utterly stunning. It floored me when I saw this. Like, I saw this when browsing Ravelry, trying to find like different fantasy type things. This is gorgeous. It's called a dragon cloak. It looks like it has dragon scales, but it could also be like leaves. If you did it in like a cascade of like an autumn ombre, it would be gorgeous. I think that this is just such a stunning piece. It's basically like a really gorgeous shawl, but it's being treated like a cloak, and it just, the texture is just getting me. It's so beautiful. Like, yeah, 100%. This needs to go on the to be made pile. Next, we have the Drachenjäger kimono sweater. This is really beautiful. It is using double knitting. It's got a very interesting dragon motif that like wraps around the body. There is notes saying that you could potentially do it without double knitting, but that you might then require steeking on the sleeves. It's just so beautiful. I don't even know, like, it's beautiful, stunning. It's got these nice big thick sleeves, like the back of the dragon is across your back and the wing comes around the arm. It's stunning. This goes from size extra small to XXL, but there is no information on the pattern page about what that size means to this designer. So I cannot vouch for whether or not it is size inclusive. Having 7 sizes is pretty decent for a knitting pattern. 8 to 11 is kind of where I like seeing patterns, but 7 is not terrible. But again, I don't know what that XXL means, because I know that there are some designers that don't know what what large even means. So that's besides the point. I have not purchased this pattern yet, so I cannot vouch for whether or not it is size inclusive, but it really caught my eye when I was searching, and it just was absolutely yes. Now I feel like I can't have a pattern roundup without featuring Jamie Lomax or Pacific Knit Co., who does the Doodle Cowls or the Doodle collection of knitting patterns, or like the doodle decks, etc. If you're in the knitting space, you probably know about them. If you don't, you need to go follow them. It's really, really fun. The doodle decks and the doodle cowls, etc. is designed around these pixelated art pictures, like different pictures, and there's different themes. So you can purchase the decks or you can purchase the pattern. The pattern will have everything just like in paper, like having all the designs. And it will also include how to make it into a cowl, etc. So this one's specifically the Infinity Cowl that I have featured here, but you can check out her other designs. But there is a castle. There are, I believe that's some skulls. There is shields, flags, a map, dragons, swords. I think I might have already said swords, crowns, horses. No, that's a unicorn. Yeah, unicorns, that sort of thing. Anything fantasy, it's in this doodle cowl. Really, really fun. And it, yeah, a must-have for the fantasy lovers for this. And you can also take these designs and also add them to like your favorite yoked sweater, anything like that. You can add them on like a coffee cup holder. There's so many different things that you can do with these charts, but the charts are really fun and mix and match and all that fun stuff. Now this one is just a really, really gorgeous color work pattern. This is the There and Back Again story scarf, and it is inspired, of course, by Bilbo and the Hobbit. Bilbo naming the story There and Back Again about the Hobbit, and it is featuring different things from the Hobbit story. That is stunning. I believe it might be double knit because it is reversible, fully reversible. It is just so pretty and gorgeous and so well done. So well done. Now I can't do a fantasy pattern roundup without something maybe a little bit silly, and that is the Black Prince hood by Annie Modestit. And it is essentially a balaclava, but it looks like chainmail hood, and it just tickles me. It tickles me. I'm tickled. The texture using the garter stitches and a couple of a couple of cables. Like I have to make one of these. The little dinky boop on the top. It just kills me. It's so cute. Look at it. I can't. Our next sweater is the Dragon Yoked Sweater by Kathy Dobson. This one has some interesting measurements, and specifically because I can fit the largest bust on this, but the largest waist measurement on this, I am 10 centimeters or 10 inches bigger, or last time I measured. And I'm pretty like hourglassy for a plus size person. Like, it's very odd. So the largest size, so basically goes from, the bust goes from 32 to 51 inches. The waist goes from 23 to 37 inches. And then the hips go from 34.5 to 52 inches. It does say that there is information on how to make a looser or more tailored waist, that sort of thing. I'm sure you could add some stitches, but I'm mainly looking at the color work yoke, and it is so pretty with this dragon motif in the middle, across the chest, and up over the arms. Really cute. And it just has I could just see myself wearing something like this. For the penultimate pattern of this roundup, I want to talk about the pattern that inspired me to do this roundup in the first place. And that is the Elven Armor Pullover by Angela Hahn. This is published in the Fellowship of the Knits, the unofficial Lord of the Rings knitting book that I saw at Chapters and fell in love with, and I haven't purchased it yet, and I really want to. And it's one of the few pattern books that I have seen for patterns that is super size inclusive. Like, I'm impressed. When I see a pattern where I am not the largest size, I know that this designer is trying to be more inclusive, because I may be plus size. I am not the biggest plus size person out there. But this pullover is so gorgeous. Like, look at these welts that are knitted on. I believe that you knit like the base pullover and then you pick up and knit the welts. I think that's what it is based on just the description. And just, they have it across the body. They have it down the arms. They have this really gorgeous, like, fold over looking collar that is like wider neck with like a more V shape. And it is just, oh my gosh, is it stunning. Like, oh yeah, there is a photo that shows the base garment before you add they call it the wrappings. I think they look kind of like welts, but oh my gosh, like this makes me think that I could be like an Elven ranger, like I'm Legolas, I am in Lord of the Rings, and I am ready to go hunting with a bow, I say, when I don't hunt or eat meat. That's besides the point. I'll hunt down some cabbages, I'll tell you what. But that pattern inspired the whole roundup. But last and most certainly not least is the Hobbiton vest. The Hobbiton vest by Fable Knitwear that I'm wearing right now. It is really cute. As you can see, I totally messed up the pattern here. I messed it up on one side, and I unintentionally messed it up around the same place on the other side. So now I just have these like little stripes. No one would have known it was unintentional and a mistake had I not said anything, but I'm going to tell you anyway. And by the time I finished, I literally finished and then noticed, and I was like, well, I'm not undoing it now. This vest, I love it so much. I wear it so much. I'm in the Shire. I'm having some mead or a cider, and I'm dancing, and I'm just having a great time having my potatoes and my bread and my vegetables, and I'm just having the time of my life with the hobbits. That's what it's giving me. And It is so cute. It's also kind of vintage inspired as well. So it's a little bit vintage, a little bit fantasy. It kind of fits a lot of different areas, especially if you go with a different color palette. I went for more of an olive color. I think I would like to make one in like a forest green. I also think I would like to have one in red. Not quite as hobbity, but I think it'd be cute. Or maybe like a goldenrod, like a golden yellow. That would be really sweet as well. Mustardy, maybe. But also, I don't want to knit one again. And that is simply because I've done a lot of patterns recently with the like seed or moss stitch texture, and I'm over it. I'm over knit one, purl one for the rest of my life. I'm sure I'll get over it and like want to knit something this texture again in the future. This vest is definitely a potential candidate. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching this pattern roundup. From this roundup, what was your favorite pattern? And if there was a pattern you could add to this roundup, let me know down below as well. Obviously, you can't put any links in YouTube comments half the time because they get auto-blocked for spam, etc. So maybe just put down the name of the pattern and the designer, and I can add it if I think it kind of goes with the vibe, and we might collectively as a community build up a fantasy knitting pattern thing. And of course, if you would like to add anything for a crochet pattern, you certainly can as well. However, I'm probably going to be filming that like right now. So I can't make it into the video, but you never know. And I hope that you have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. Bye!